to speak about high school football. He's a native of Kenilworth, a long way away, like New Jersey, okay? He helped Jesuit to the Division I state championship in 2014 as its offensive coordinator. Previously served as an assistant at De La Salle, St. Charles Catholic, and Jesuit. He's in his second season as the head coach at Country Day. Has a record of 11-4. Led the Cajuns to the Division IV quarterfinals a year ago. Country Day is 2-0 after a 40-0 win over Ben Franklin last Friday, and they will travel to play Episcopal Thursday night at Parkview Baptist at 6:30 p.m. That's a change from the regular schedule, and that's a result of what transpired, as we know, with the flood event in the Baton Rouge area not too long ago. Please give a warm Ready to Roll Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Joe Chango of Country Day.
Thank you, Ken, for the introduction. Sam, for the record, Coach Mike makes me smile too. When they asked me to speak, the topic was, how do you win football games at a basketball and volleyball school? So far this season, we've been real pleased with the way our team has started out. We have some of our assistant coaches here, Bill Barrow, our defensive coordinator, Adam Gardner, our offensive line coach, David LaBeouf, our defensive line coach. We're missing Eric Alexander and Mark Drago today. They couldn't make it to it with us, but I'm blessed to have a great staff. And our success is due solely in part to the way those guys work. Obviously the head coach gets a lot of credit for wins and a lot of blame for losses. Well, I'll take the blame for the losses, but I won't take the credit for the wins. That's our staff does a fantastic job for us, and they work their butt off, and it's a big part of the reason we have the success we have. We got a couple of players that also play into that a little bit. Our quarterback, Christian Carruth, is a phenomenal young man. Academically, he's a tremendous student. He's a three-sport athlete. He's a starter in all three sports. He's our starting quarterback. He plays on a basketball team for Coach McGuire. He plays baseball for Sam Dozier. He's their best pitcher on the staff. I mean, the kid is a multi-talented kid who is a bigger reason for our success than I'll ever be. He was a 3,000-yard passer last year, and we're real excited about having him back this year. He's already thrown for 500 yards in our first two games and 6 touchdowns and not an interception to his credit. So that's a solid effort by him. We have a bunch of other guys as well. I think one of the things that we really try to stress in our program is trust and loyalty. And we talked a lot about this in the preseason. We have a meeting with our kids right before we start camp on a Sunday night where we have dinner together and we do a PowerPoint presentation, and our staff all takes turns presenting ideas and presenting parts of the PowerPoint. This year we did a little bit more of it as a discussion group, small discussion groups. And I really believe that's a big part of the reason that our kids take the approach and have the mentality they have when it comes to the work we try to do on the field. Our guys are very interested in becoming better men. And that's one of the things that we really try to preach to them, is that it's not just about football, it's about being better men, being better students, being better sons, being better brothers, being better boyfriends, one day learning how to be better fathers and husbands as well. And the more that we try to preach that, the more success we see on the field. And one of the things that we did this year, I think has been a real important part of our program. About 10 years ago, I read a book by Lee Iacocca. Some of y'all might remember Lee Iacocca was the CEO of Chrysler, who saved Chrysler from bankruptcy in the 80s and early 90s. The title of the book is, Where Have All the Leaders Gone? And it was something after I read, I really took to heart, and I saw in our society a lack of leadership in multiple areas, certainly from our political world and down into just the business world, where leadership was not being taught, wasn't being impressed upon our youth as much as it should be. And so we have really taken an approach to try to not only teach them what leadership means and how to be great leaders, but also try to provide them with opportunities for leadership. And I think that's the part that we miss on a lot. Everyone, hey, we need to have better leaders. Hey, you need to be a leader. You need to be a leader. But we never actually tell the kid exactly what that means, how to approach that, and then, in turn, give them the opportunities to be leaders. You get elected captain, there's your opportunity, but we have 10 other seniors who don't necessarily have that opportunity. So what we did this year was we actually broke our team up into smaller family units. Okay? This is something we stole from Coach Shiano at Rutgers. We use family, we put a period in between every letter. And family it means forget about me, I love you. And that is something that we try to preach in our program, that the program is above every single one of us, that it is about the love of your teammates and being there for your teammates. And so what we did is in these smaller family units, we have seniors, sophomores, freshmen, juniors, everyone mixed in. And it gives those kids opportunities for leadership in their smaller units. So I have a senior lineman who's not a captain, and we got a freshman who's struggling in his science class. I might grab that senior and say, hey man, go talk to Johnny and see what's going on in his science class. Tell him that you struggled in science when you were a freshman, and look how far you've come, and just see if you can help him out. And so we create opportunities for these kids to show leadership qualities that they may not have been able to show without the opportunity being created for them. And so something that we really believe strongly in, and that's the next part of kind of building the trust with each other and building that loyalty. And I think that's when you get to a point where your staff and your kids and everybody together just has that loyalty to each other and that trust in each other, it gives you an opportunity to be successful. And so I think that's what we really work hard at with our kids. We try to get them to block the right people and run the right routes and catch the ball and all that stuff too, but the more important thing to us and the greater task that we have as coaches and as educators is to teach them how to be better young men, teach them how to be better teammates, and that's something we try real hard to do, and I think we have a lot of success with. Just a little story before I sit down. Grant Taft was the head coach at Baylor University. He had a defensive coordinator, and they have a weekend off, and they're going to go hunting. And so they're going to hunt on this booster's property, old Baylor fans. So they get to the farm, and Grant Taft says to his defensive coordinator, he says, look, I'm just going to run up and tell the old man that we're here to hunt. And so he goes and he knocks on the door, and he says, hey, we're here to hunt. He says, yeah, coach, no problem. He says, look, can you do me a favor? He said, I have this old horse that's been with me a long time. He said, and he's got to get put down, and I don't have the heart to do it. Could you do that for me? So Grant Taft says, yeah, no problem, man. So he walks away, and he gets back to the car, and he says to the defensive coordinator, he says, man, you're not going to believe what this dude just told me. And so the defensive coordinator says, what? He said, he told me this is the worst Baylor team he's ever seen, and he went far as to say it's the worst Baylor defense in the history of the school. So the defensive coordinator looks at him and he says, in fact, I'm so pissed right now, I'm going to shoot one of his horses. So Grant takes the gun out, he's aiming at the horse, and he pulls the trigger. And right after he pulls the trigger, he hears boom, boom, right behind him. He looks over at the defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator says, I got 2 of his cows too, let's go. The moral of the story is this. His defensive coordinator was sold out to Grant. He believed everything he said. He was blindly loyal to him. And Grant, there was a trust there. And that's why they had the success that they had in their time together, right? Even if he was messing with him and leading them down the bad path at the time, there was that loyalty. And as long as you have that in your program, we always feel like we got a chance to line up and beat anybody we have to play. And that's the approach we take at Country Day, and hopefully it'll merit some wins for us as we go through the season. I appreciate y'all having me. Look forward to hopefully coming back another time in the future. And thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody. Have a great day.